Should I put my glasses to look smarter? Hello everyone and welcome back on my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to talk about something extremely serious. A very serious topic. No, just kidding. I'm just going to try to give you, as a French native, some tips to actually acquire more vocabulary and to make progress in French. I'm going to try. So in this new video, I'm going to try, as a French native, to give you some tips to learn French in an easier way, or at least to acquire more vocabulary and to remember it. So of course, this video is not a magical key and I am not a magical goddess. I wish, but unfortunately I don't have any magical powers for that. But you know, I am French, I have learned languages, I am still learning some, I know the process when we learn, I also teach French, so I know the struggle, I know how hard it can be, and I don't even understand how French people, we actually manage to speak French since we were kids, because clearly when I see foreigners struggling and trying to learn my mother tongue, wow, I don't know how they do that, because clearly it's kind of hard. It's not impossible, of course. You have to know that technically the human brain is capable of learning any languages, so you can do it, of course, just like I made it for English, you know. So you're going to tell me, yes, but English is way easier than French and it's a language that everyone can speak all around the world. And you're right, but still, I went through the same learning process and it was not easy for me. I am 28 and I started very seriously when I was 18. I started to learn on my own and it's been 10 years. Sad truth, I didn't have any social media 10 years ago and I didn't have any English friends. So if someone tells you you can't learn, you have to travel, you have to meet with natives, etc., no. I mean, of course you will improve faster if you are immersed and if you speak, because you force yourself and you get out of your comfort zone, but clearly you can do that from your home, your computer, you can totally make it. And trust me, you can do it. So if someone tells you you can't, no, do it at your own pace and do whatever you want, because I actually started from zero, nothing. I didn't have any foreign friends and social media basically saved my social life, I guess. But clearly, you can do it even from home, even if you are on your own. It will maybe take a bit more time, but you can make it. And even if now I have a very good level, I'm still learning, you know, and you will never stop learning no matter the language you are learning. So what I can do in this video, I can actually help you. So of course, if you already know all the tips to learn a language, it's okay. But if you don't, or if you are a bit lost, or if you are just intrigued or interested, stay with me, listen to me till the end, and maybe I can help you and provide some help. So let's see that together. So my first tip would be to repeat the word again and again, like when you try to memorize a poem. Some people will say, this is nonsense, it's not the way to learn, you won't memorize something like this. But it depends on your memory. Some people have a visual memory and some people don't. I know for sure that if I write something, I will remember it at 100%. Just like if I see someone's face on the street, I have a visual memory, I will remember, and it will be like a security for me because I will have it written somewhere. Some people, when they are, for example, at school or listening to a podcast or the radio or anything, they will actually remember what they heard before. For me, it doesn't work. I know at like 90% for sure that if I listen to something, if there is not a text somewhere, I won't remember it. For sure, after 10 minutes I will forget about it. That's why I prefer to see things and to write. But for some people it can work. You're going to try to take the word and to repeat again and again. So you will actually try to make the right pronunciation, to have the right phonetic. It can help you that way as well. So it would be my first tip. Try to repeat, like a parrot. You repeat again and again and again. At some point you will feel more comfortable and you can actually remember the words. Once again, it's not for everybody, but maybe this first tip can help you if we have the same kind of memory. Tip number 2 that I could give to the people who have a visual memory or would like to check on their notes from time to time would be to have a little notebook like this one. So you have plenty of room because you have 180 pages, so you can write a lot, you see. When you will actually target some vocabulary in TV series, as a radio, in French movies, or even if you hear someone speaking around you in French, you can actually take notes and you can write in French, first column with all French words, and on the right side, you can actually put the English translation or Spanish or Italian. It depends your nationality and the language you are speaking, but you can actually take notes. So this was very useful for me. I remember when I was learning English, I had maybe 3 notebooks like this, and I remember I was writing the verbs, irregular verbs, regular verbs. It was a struggle for me. And I was actually taking notes everywhere, every time, and I was trying to refer to my little notebooks, and it was very useful for me. So if you can do that, of course if you don't like to write and if you don't have the patience, it's gonna be harder, but if you can do that, if you can actually buy something like this, and if you can take the time to do something very pretty, very aesthetic, and to write, you can actually memorize in an easier way and in a faster way vocabulary. So you could try this if you have a visual memory, of course. You don't forget to actually open it, because sometimes we actually have a perfect notebook. It happens to me sometimes, or post-its everywhere on the wall, but if you don't remember to check your post-its or your notebook, of course you're just going to be stuck at the same level. So the notebook would be my second tip for sure. Tip number 3. So I tried this one. If you have a whiteboard or a paperboard, you actually take your whiteboard and you write all the vocabulary. Then you actually write the translation next to it, so you have your words. Everything is settled, right? Okay, this is a challenge. You actually erase the translation in English in your own language, so it can be any language, I don't know your nationality. You actually erase. You wait for like 30 minutes or an hour, or 2 days if you want, it depends, but challenge yourself. And then you come back and you try to fill the blanks. And you try to see if you remember what you saw 30 minutes ago on the board. I know it was very beneficial for me, very useful. It helped me a lot. Once again, I would say this is for people who have a visual memory. Just have a board and write the vocabulary, because every time you will actually pass in front of it, you will see it. But if you have a painting in your house or picture, anything on the wall, and even if you don't look at it every day, you know it there, and if someone asks you to describe it, you will be able to do that, right? Because it's in your brain, your eyes actually scanned it and saw it so many times, you know it by heart. This is the same with the board. You will actually see the words, it will be very, subconsciously, and then you will remember what you saw. And if someone asks you, oh, what is this word? Maybe you will be able to reply and to give the right answer because it's on your board. So this one could be also a good technique if you want to remember and memorize vocabulary a little bit faster. Tip number 4. Watching French TV series, movies, anything, cartoons with French subtitles. So You have two possibilities. You can actually decide that you want to relax and watch TV and you don't want to actually have this burden, like the subtitles in French. You want to understand everything, so you just want to put your program on TV or Netflix and you just want to understand, so you're going to put the subtitles in your native language. But you can also decide that it's a working session and you'll be like, okay, for 30 minutes, for example, I'm just going to watch this episode or scene and I'm going to put it in French with the French subtitles. And you're going to take notes maybe, or try to go backwards to actually listen again, to read again subtitles, because sometimes it's too fast and I can't understand. But you can actually try to do that, French subtitles. It's very beneficial because most of the time many people can recognize a word when they actually learn a language. But when it comes to writing and spelling the word, they have no clue. There is nobody anymore. No one knows how to do that. And I think it's very important to be on the same level, listening, speaking, writing. I can understand English, I can speak English, and I can write, of course. And I think this is very important when everything is well balanced. So what you can do is put French subtitles, because visually you will have the words written on the screen and you will be able to listen to the pronunciation. And you have to know, and many foreigners actually complain about that, in French, sometimes we speak so fast, it seems like we are eating our words, And when you want to say je ne sais pas, which means I do not know, most of the time we're going to contract and we're going to say je sais pas, je sais pas. And for people it sounds like a sh sound, but it's not. It's the J letter plus S, and if you contract everything, it gives je sais pas. Shepa. And if you just listen and you don't know how to write it, it's going to be very hard for you to recognize it in a text, which will be too bad because you know the word. You just need to know how to spell it, you know what I mean? Because you will never stop making progress or learn a language. And I would like you to do the same with French. I want you to actually learn a new word and to memorize it in 5 minutes. Subtitles. Subtitles is pretty good. So French subtitles, French series, French movies, French cartoons, anything, even songs. But put the subtitles in French. Trust me, it will be very beneficial for you and for your brain. Your brain is a muscle. Your brain needs to rest, of course, but it needs to be challenged. Just like your body when you're working out. So challenge your brain. Tip number 5, I think everyone's struggle most of the time is the pronunciation. So you can probably hear that I'm French, and even if I complained a lot about it and I was very angry at myself for not being able to speak like a British person perfectly or an American person, everyone was telling me, oh, this is so charming, your French accent. Thank you. I don't think so, but thanks. So what you can actually try to do as well, so this one is not to memorize vocabulary, this tip is not for that, this tip is just like mostly for making progress. Overall, try to read aloud. Yes. So even if it's 10 minutes per day, but try, okay, if you can do that every day, try at least 3 times a week. But to read aloud, do not be obsessed by your accent because it's going to be hard to get rid of it. I think I will always sound French, and that's not so bad when I think about it. So tip number 6 would be analysis and translation. So take everything you have and just translate. Of course, for some people it's a waste of time. They want to learn, they want to speak right away, they don't want to translate. But once again, if you want to take your time in the process, if you are a person who doesn't like to be rushed, it's okay. It's not a competition. So translation and analysis. If you are curious, if you like to understand the meanings, the deeper meaning of things and linguistics, in this case, try to translate as much as possible. And also, my advice would be learn a language because you love it, because it sounds beautiful for you, you know. Don't just do it because you want to be the best in the competition or just because you have to learn something. Just do it because you like it, you know. You can do it. You can make it. So if you want to share your learning method, anything, you can actually leave a comment in the comment section below. You can help other learners, other language learners or French learners. And if you want as well, you can follow me on social media on my Instagram account because I post pretty regularly about French content. Yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want and to leave a comment to share your experience with French language or the way you learn. Anything that can be useful to others, because I think social media are an amazing way to share with the world and to exchange with other cultures and other people. So feel free to do it. And I will see you very soon for a next video. Thank you very much. Au revoir.